Hello, Sherry Truler with Red Apple Auctions, and today I am going to show you 3 examples of catalogs that are currently being produced here in our post-pandemic world. Now, in order to explain, I guess, why this is a little bit more unique is because we have to think back to our COVID days. During the pandemic, we were doing virtual galas. Now, some of those were done via Zoom. Some of those were done in 2 types, different 2-screen solutions. But more or less, what we saw happen is there were 2 types of catalogs. One type of catalog was a PDF that was emailed out to guests. So as we were selling the live auction items, they could look at those. And by sell in the Zoom, we were actually selling them. In the 2-screen solutions, we were kind of promoting them. But at any rate, that was a PDF of a catalog. The other way is that it was using auction software and the catalog was all online, and we would refer people to that online catalog to read about the items. So now, as we're coming to a post-pandemic environment and we're meeting in rooms, the question from some of my clients is, well, do we really need to spend money producing a catalog? Because during COVID, we were just referring everybody online, and maybe we can just have them sit there in the room and not produce anything. Now, that is not something that I generally advocate. And the reason being distractions is because I'm looking for my phone. I can't find my phone. Where's my phone? I've lost my phone. There's my phone. Okay, so I don't want people looking at their phone because it creates a distraction. So if I'm describing an item and then I say, oh, by the way, all the restrictions are online, I wouldn't actually say that, but if they're looking for more information and they are required to go online to find it, they're like online and they're like going to it, and first they can't find where they're supposed to go, and meanwhile, oh, a text popped up. The babysitter wants to know some information. Oh, I can take care of this right now. Oh, mom texted. She wants to know what the holiday plans are. Okay, I'll just tell her I'll get back to that in a second. I wonder what the score is right now. What's the score? I'll look that up. That'll just take a second here. Oh my gosh, now pretty soon we've lost them. They're like absorbed in their phone. We don't want people to do that. So I'd rather have a catalog. It's a lot easier to pick up a piece of paper than it is to pick up your phone and then find all that. So 3 examples from, we'll start with the easiest to produce, and there's no right or wrong with this. Everybody's situation is different, which dictates why and how they produce the catalog that they do. So I'll explain more about that in a second. But so this is probably the easiest. This was from this past weekend. We've got a 1-page catalog. How easy is that? We have the title of the item, who donated it, description, restrictions, easy peasy, lemon squeezy, 1 page. This was on the table along with a gift that featured all of the sponsors. So for those of you that are like, we could never do this, where would the sponsors put their ads? They had a separate thing that took care of that. And then also on the table was the bid number. So when the guests went into that event, at registration, the only thing they did was put a credit card on file and, check in. They didn't carry anything. They just moved on into the silent auction space, then eventually moved on into the gala space where they got their bid number, because it was already on the table, and their gift. Voila, easy. Next step, the mid-range catalog, perhaps the most popular amongst my client base anyway. We have a catalog here, nice little kind of fun square shape, 50th anniversary. This was October 15th. The other 2 were already in November. So these are all very current. Just to give you a sense of the length of the catalog here. And what do we have in here? We have a little bit about the band, ads, my ads in there. What do we got? We got some sponsor stuff. Sponsor. Oh, look at that. We got the live auction, 2 pages of live auction here. It says the title, the description, who donated it, and the value with a photo. I like photos. Kind of helps to, and this is in order, by the way, sale order. Photos aren't required, but they sure are nice to have. They're a nice to have, not a need to have. So I like my photos. So that's how they handled that. And this was already on the table when the guests arrived. They would have gotten their bid number I think they got it at registration. It may have also been on the table, though. I can't remember. I'd have to look at photos. And then finally, as we wrap this up, perhaps this would be what we'd say the most complex, most involved. It's 2 parts. They were celebrating a 60th anniversary. A lot of big anniversaries here in 20. Well, you know what? Some of these anniversaries were delayed. They were actually celebrated over COVID, but now they're making a big deal out of it because now we're actually able to get together. So in this case, oh, excuse me, this was the catalog that was handed out to guests when they registered on site. So they show up at registration, they get a full-blown catalog. Silent and live is in here, along with auction rules. Here's my live. Title, description, value, title, description, restrictions, value, and donor. For all the silent, all the live, the whole 9 yards. And then on the back, we have our bid number. So this is why they got this at check-in, is because they needed to know what their number was, because they weren't using mobile bidding. They needed to know what their number was so they could put it onto the paper bid sheets. Now, there's other ways to distribute this, right? You can give them a little card. There's different ways of doing it, but this is how this group did it. So they handed this out at registration. And then on the table already in the gala room was the program, the gala program, which, very similar to what I just showed you, adds in here a little bit of history about the event, politician letters, that kind of stuff, leadership team. So that was on the table. 2 parts, right? Way more complex than our 1-pager. And then somewhere in the middle here, we've got, this one. So no right or wrong. And this is why I say that, is because everybody's got a different budget. Everybody's got different donors. I remember a few years ago, actually, not just a few years ago. And it was a performing arts group, and they had this gorgeous invitation, die cut, exquisite, best one I'd seen up to that point. And I asked the events person, I said, wow, you got a really nice invitation going on here. She says, well, we got this new relationship with a printer, and they really wanted to showcase everything that they could do. So it's all free to us. All of our printing this year is free. So we're kind of like splurging and getting all this cool stuff. Great. Someone else might look at that and go, what a waste of money. What were they doing that? You just don't know who's donating. Some other group may get free catering, and so they've got a lot more money to spend in other ways, and they might, splurge on the way that they do their catalog. It's just up to each their own. No right or wrong in what I showed you here. It accomplished the goals for everyone. And most importantly, from my perspective, we weren't asking people to go to their phone and provide a distraction for them when we're really trying to keep them there in the moment, in the live auction space itself, in the gala room. I'm just not a fan of referring people to the phone, even though, yeah, I know it would save you some time and in some cases money, instead of producing something like this. But geez, this is pretty darn easy. You could do this the morning of the gala and print this out on your printer in the office. All right, for other ideas on fundraising auctions, please head over to redappleauctions.com. I even have a free gift over there for you. It's called my auction item guide. It's the top 100 items I sold for over value in the prior year of auctions that I worked all around the country. Actually, what I'm giving away right now is the prior 2 years, because I combined my COVID years. And so that the pandemic years, it's all one big catalog. I'll be producing the new catalog in January of 2023 that will cover 2022. So that's still available on my website right now. And if you want to set up an appointment to visit with me about your gala and how I work with clients, please do so by visiting redappleauctions.com. As always, good luck to you in your fundraising gala.